thing I noticed was every single one of them was against Charleston Southern. So, man, I felt like we were down and we needed to go regroup in the locker room at halftime today. So, but I'm privileged to be here. I'm blessed to be at Charleston Southern University. I'm honored to represent the leadership at Charleston Southern University, Dr. Jerry Hunter, Dr. Rick Brewer, our Vice President for Student Affairs and Athletics, and our table over here, our Athletic Director, Hank Small, my wife sitting next to him, Kimberly Mills, David Jackson, as you met already before. Very proud of David, a local product from the Charleston area. He came into our program as a safety in high school, has become a linebacker. He's a student athlete advisory committee representative, as well as being one of the leaders on our team on the field and off the field. Jeff Hartzell's here, representing the Post and Courier as well too, and Blake Freeland looks like he got up. Is Blake still in here? There he is. Okay, Blake Freeland is our sports information director, does a tremendous job along the way, and got the media guys in under the wire that came in today, and so they're outside there, and it's all because of his hard work and dedication. I feel blessed because of the things that have been accomplished already by this year's team. We haven't even got to the season yet, and we talked to the young man about the leadership along the way. This team, this past spring, for the second consecutive year, was awarded the Community Service Award for the athletic department at Charleston Southern University. This team this past semester got the highest team GPA in the history of them calculating the team GPA for a semester at Charleston Southern University. That's for football. They also we're in the process of continuing to work together on the field and off the field, raising funds. This team set a record for the most funds that was ever brought in this past year for Charleston Southern University football, and led the athletic department in that area as well too. You've heard about Jordan Lancaster already. I would also offer up Andrew McCain, who was awarded the Hunter Cup, which goes to the senior athlete at Charleston Southern University that best exemplifies what we want all our athletes to exemplify. And that's the second time in 3 years a football person has represented that award. The senior male Christian, or I should say the male Christian athlete award that was handed out this spring on our campus went to Tyrese Harris as well too. So we feel like we've had a tremendous year already in the things that have been accomplished, and I credit an awful lot of that to the leadership of our coaching staff. We have a tremendous football coaching staff. I'm privileged to be around these men sometimes morning, noon, and night, and they are the type that you'd want to have leading your sons along the way. I also credit it to our seniors, David, and the senior class. We're very excited about this coming year. We have about 20, I believe it is, seniors returning, which I think is the largest number of seniors we've had since I've been at Charleston Southern University. And every single one of them has been selfless in the things that they've done, and again, have provided some great role models on the field and off the field too. And we're excited about our team and our squad too, how hard they've been working and the things that they've been doing. So we put winning at an emphasis and a priority, and I know like these men here who I have great rapport with and respect for, we also emphasize the things off the field as well too. So while we're all striving for that championship this coming fall, and striving for that automatic bid that we've been talking about and pulling for such an extended period of time, I'm also glad that we're part of a group and a collection and a conference that believes that there's successes on the field and there's victories off the field as well too. And I think that's what's elevated the focus of the Big South Conference, the play of the individuals. The football just continues to get better and better, but what they do off the field as well too. I want to finally conclude by congratulating the young men that are representing their team and teammates here. We have an absolute respect for them as well too, and we look forward to seeing each and every person as we go through the course of this fall. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support to the media as well too.
Thank you to me, and I didn't realize that this is the first time, I believe, in 4 years that we returned to starting quarterback. And you know, I think one of the things that shows, because of the consistency of the winning and the success over those years, is it shows that it's not just about that one focal position, it's about the total scope of the team. But AJ is great from the standpoint of not only being a good player, but he's a wonderful person, and he's a tremendous leader by example for the team as well too. So when your quarterback doesn't care as much about statistics, he cares about winning, then your team has a chance, much greater chance to be a selfless team. And that's when the sum of the parts can make the whole special.
David, I know Coach was talking during the luncheon about your, not just your athletic ability, but your off-the-field commitment to service around the Charleston area. Talk to us about the whole sort of student-athlete experience at Charleston Southern, not just what you get to do between August and November.
Just being from Charleston myself, I'm comfortable with the area, so it's easy to get around. The schools we go to, the mentoring we do, get together with certain players, and we do football camps. Just trying to help around the community, things on campus, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's just great to be an athlete, but also get to help while you're doing what you want to do.
Coach Mills, I would imagine it's pretty easy to recruit with sort of using David Jackson as sort of the chairperson for your recruiting process.
Well, he is, and we talk about humility, and David sincerely is a humble individual as well too. But I think of, we ask our young men to be involved, and they have been involved. In fact, for the second consecutive year, they have won the Athletic Department Team Community Service Award, and David spearheads that. I don't know if there's anything that comes up that David does not volunteer for, and along the way. And when your leaders do that, it speaks very well for the rest of the program. They're going to follow that example. So we're very blessed. And he does that not only in the community, but he's also our Student Athlete Advisory Committee representative for football and has been for the last couple of years.
David, has there been discussion between you and your teammates? You look back at last year, you guys had a solid 4-2 record in the conference, but a touchdown here or there, you guys would have ended up the league unbeaten. You would have been the champion. You guys kind of sit back and realize, hey, if we can take that next step, that's what would be ahead of us, and this year brings a playoff bid.
It was tough. Thinking about it today, it's still tough to know that one pass breakup here or one sack here could have won the game. And, one game here, one game there. We're conference champions, or, even better, moving on to something at the next level. And we just got to be consistent. Not try to break down as much and be able to finish in the fourth quarter.
And what's it like going to play at Florida? What was that experience like for you guys?
Extremely loud. We just had to work together as a team and make sure we communicate well and, deal with the rush of everything that's going on. Those guys out there, they're quick and they're big, and, we just go out there. We had fun and we competed.
We will, and we are going to travel for the first time this year in school history. We will fly to more away games than we will bus to. So it's just amazing how God's blessed and how far the program's come in a short period of time, and the experience that our young men get to have. And part of that is too, is it's still an education, it's still a game. When we go out and do these things, we hope to go to a horse farm in Kentucky when we're in Lexington. When we go to Stony Brook, we'll go down the Statue of Liberty and Ground Zero and those types of things. In Hawaii, we'll go to Pearl Harbor. And so we really try to make it all about what a family does, a family outing. And in between there, we hope to squeeze in a few football games too.
David, if you had to summarize the 2010 season, offense and defense, what do you feel like the strengths are for the Bucs going into preseason camp and then the start of the year in September?
Well, we have returners on both sides of the ball, so that'll help add to our consistency that I believe we need to be successful this season. Make sure we're all clicking at the same time, offense, defense, special teams, and we can go from there. The players, their attitudes have really developed since the spring, going to the summer, and now to the fall. So as long as we come in with the focus and the attention on the game that we need to have, then I think we'll be all right.
And Coach Mills, but before we let you guys go, just kind of wanted to get your perspective. This is a little bit maybe off of the Buccaneer program, but not too long ago, Don Cordial passed away, and I know
Well, I think the key thing in the preseason polls, and we share with our team, is it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And I think slowly Charleston Southern University is beginning to rise and to climb in the respect preseason of the pollsters. We have generally been voted 6th or 7th in the league, so I think there's a garnering of respect that's happened, primarily because of the inclusion of last season with a 4-game winning streak. Some of the individuals recognized an all-conference preseason team, Gerald Stevenson offensively with Jordan Lancaster, Joel Walton defensively with Chris Cousdale, and then Gerald as a specialist, a return specialist too, are the names that probably people are going to be most familiar with regard to the league. I think, however, anytime you do a preseason poll, what doesn't take into account is the off-season, the training that's been done, and spring football practice has been conducted. And I believe what people will see once true action starts and begins, there's going to be a lot more noticeable names on the Charleston Southern roster. I'm very confident in the seniors and what type of leadership they brought about, and I'm very confident in some underclassmen that are going to make a name for themselves this coming fall too. In my estimation, I believe of the years we've been here, the best in Charleston Southern football is yet to come, and the best to come is 2010.
Definitely didn't expect to be placed 4th in the preseason polls, considering we have, the numbers we have coming back and the letter winners, and just as good as the team's been doing these past few years, and the way we finished strong, and the shortcomings we've had. But as long as we, how I put this, improve greatly, and on our mistakes and stay consistent, we shouldn't have much of a problem. I think if we just go out there and play like we know how, that we can come out on top. It's always possible to come out on top. We just got to play consistent, play hard, and do what we need to do to win. That'll take us to our defense. Shouldn't be too much difficulty with the defense this year, man. We got a lot of seniors, a lot of returners coming back, so the teaching part won't be as long and drawn out. We got guys that can teach others how to play the defense, how to run the schemes, to run the blitzes, and all kind of stuff like that. And me in my position, the way we're doing things, the transition from me moving around on the line and into the linebacker position, the way we play coverages is just the mix of what we're going to be doing is going to be confusing for some offenses, and we're just going to take advantage of it.